Romans 12:15. Rejoice with those who rejoice. Weep with those who weep. Paul has spent the last several verses describing what love looks like in community. Tenderness, honor, fervency, hospitality, blessing people who have hurt you. And now he gets to this. 2 short commands, and the simplicity of them is almost disarming until you actually try to do it. Rejoice with those who rejoice. That sounds easy. But think about the last time someone in your life got something you wanted. A promotion, a platform, a relationship that finally worked out, a breakthrough in their ministry when yours felt stuck. The room to rejoice with them genuinely, without any quiet resentment underneath it, is not a given. It's something that has to be formed in you. Comparison is one of the loudest voices in ministry culture, and it does not always announce itself. Sometimes it just shows up as a small flatness when someone else wins. You say the right things, you smile, but something inside you did not fully join the celebration. Paul is describing a community where that flatness gets replaced by something real, where your joy is not so tied to your own outcomes that you cannot feel someone else's. That is a formed thing. It does not happen automatically. It's the fruit of actually believing that the body is not a competition. Then weep with those who weep. This one can feel more natural for people who are wired toward compassion, but there's a version of being around someone's pain that is still managed from a distance. You acknowledge it, you say the right things, you offer to pray, but you don't actually let it land. You stay just above it, just composed enough to keep yourself comfortable. Paul is not describing that. Weeping with someone means you let their grief actually touch you. You do not rush them toward the silver lining. You don't fill the silence with the right theological answer before they're ready for it. You stay in the room and you let it be as heavy as it actually is. That is hard in a different way than the first command. Rejoicing with someone requires you to be free from comparison. Weeping with someone requires you to be free from self-protection. Both of them are asking for a kind of presence that most of us are still being formed into. And there is something worth naming here for anyone who leads or teaches or stands at the front of a room regularly. The role trains you toward a certain kind of emotional steadiness. You learn to hold yourself together. You learn to project calm. And that is genuinely valuable. People need leaders who do not fall apart when things get hard. But steadiness can calcify into distance if you are not paying attention. You can become the person who is always okay, always composed, and always a little above the emotional weather of the room. And the people around you will feel it. They will bring you less. They'll stop weeping in front of you because they sense that weeping is not quite welcome there. This verse is an invitation to stay soft, to let the joy and the grief of the people around you actually reach you, not as a performance of empathy, but as the real thing. That is what it looks like to be genuinely present in a body of people who belong to each other. Let's pray. Jesus, you wept at the tomb of Lazarus. You were not above the emotional life of the people around you. Form that same presence in us. Protect us from the kind of leadership that manages from a distance. Teach us to rejoice fully and to weep honestly, and to trust that staying present in both is one of the most real forms of worship we can offer. In your name, amen.